broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome back to Public Morals, Season 1, Episode 4. You guessed it, it's Ladies' Night. Could you tell by Christina's amazing dance moves? I'm kind of feeling that. Oh, what a night. Oh. Hi, guys. I'm Roxy Striar, and this is Christina Kaplan. Hi. We are here talking about our favorite show, and I don't say that lightly. I'm so incredibly obsessed with this show right now. It kind of took me by surprise how much I liked it, and now I'm just like on for the ride. Don't care. I can't like focus on anything else when this show is on. It's all about me in the show.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, because I didn't even know what the show was about when Phil first pitched it to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it was either that or Teen Mom, and I mean, I didn't really want to cover Teen Mom. Let's be honest. We like riveting television. And so after the first episode, I was just stunned.
I know.
I love it.
I'm so excited that you're here to talk today, because I've gotten to sit and pick Anna's brain and Phil's brain, and yes, they will be back here next week, but I haven't got to pick your brain about all these different things, and I feel like it's a very opinion-based show right now, because there is no black and white. It's all in the gray, and I can't tell who exactly I'm rooting for and who's a little slimier than maybe we even think. So it's going to be interesting to hear your take on it, and I wonder if we'll agree on most things. I guess we'll have to see.
I remember you saying in our group chat that you had a prediction or an idea or a theory, but I hadn't watched episode 3 yet, so I think you and Anna talked about it.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it.
So I'll be interested to hear what that is eventually in the show.
We'll get there. We will absolutely get there. Yeah, I know I didn't want to spoil it. No spoilers on this show. Okay, so let's get right into it. We've got a situation with Terry going on here, and he has been called in by a hotel manager because this guy, Steady Freddy, is doing something. He's doing something in his hotel that is shady, where he's making money, and for the hotel manager, it's not paying him off, and he doesn't want Steady Freddy there. So he calls his buddy Terry, and he's like, all right, I need you to come, and I need you to handle this. I need you to handle this. And what does Terry do?
He handles it.
Yeah, because that's like what Terry freaking does.
Boss.
Straight up. Like, what isn't Terry going to be able to handle? He manages to get free food, free hotel. Like, okay, he might not be making that much money, but he's making more than he's letting on to his wife.
Yeah, but you know what I like? I mean, that is one side of it that doesn't really hold to what I'm about to say. But what I really like about his character is that even though he could totally take advantage of all of these people and be a real sleazy cop, he's not. He's every situation he's in, he comes off so kind of smooth and sweet. And
you think he's an actual good guy?
Yeah.
Like, even though he is obviously playing his wife a little bit in terms of she doesn't know all the things he's doing, and even though he is cutting this deal with Steady Freddy and convincing him to do all this, you think that in his heart or in his soul, whatever, however you want to qualify it, that he's a good dude.
Yeah, because for the most part, he's doing these somewhat shady things for the greater good. You know, like there's something, like he's trying to fix a problem. Obviously, this hotel guy doesn't like Steady Freddy in there doing whatever he's doing, some illegal stuff. And so he's righting a wrong with like a little bit of a wrong. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do.
Like a minor wrong,
like
to
on the
make
scale.
A better,
on the wrong scale.
Exactly.
I'm totally with you. That's what I was talking about at the top. Like, I can't even tell. I can't tell, because Terry could flip on a dime here. Yeah. He could end up doing something really, really shady that we don't trust. And, you know, right now he's pretending like he's looking into what's actually happened with Mr. O, but he's actually kind of avoiding it because he doesn't want to cause a big problem. But he sends Steady Freddy off. And I don't know, Steady Freddy seems way slimier than Terry does to me.
Oh, yeah.
How did you feel about him?
Yeah, no, he... most of the guys that they've come across, as far as like all the guys that were in that poker game, they are slimy, but the total kind of like New Yorker guy. Yeah. You know, I don't know. So Steady Freddy was just another one of the characters, along with, what was that? I forget the guy's name that was playing Chet or was out at the park. Remember when he went to talk to that guy?
In this episode?
No, it was, I think, episode 2. And the guy was like, oh, I don't want to go back to jail. Oh, because he went to talk to him about the poker game, if it was true, because it wasn't on that guy's list.
Oh, right.
So Steady Freddy falls into that category
one of
with
his
all of
informants.
these informant guys.
Yeah.
They're all kind of sleazy guys, and he's making deals with them to, you know, help both sides, basically.
Terry has friends, and if you're listening on iTunes right now, I'm using the quotation mark.
Air quotes.
The air quotes. He has friends in all different places. He's got these informants. He's got people who are looking out for him, cutting him deals. But really, at the end of the day, I feel like any of these guys would stab him right in the back, and he would stab any of them. He doesn't really care about them. I have a feeling that he only really cares about his fellow cops, not even all of them, but some of them, and his family.
Right.
So these, you know, I use the term friends really loosely. And I know that there's something, we have more stuff to talk about Terry, but there's a show you want to tell me a little bit about, and I want to hear about it from you.
Yes, Quantico. I don't know if you guys have seen the previews. I have. It looks amazing. It premieres Sunday, September 27th on ABC. And basically, Quantico is where FBI trains their incoming recruits, I guess you call them. And so the show basically is highlighting all of these. They're the smartest, strongest, they have the best skills. So you really kind of get to see an inside look at what it's like training at Quantico with the FBI.
Cool.
So the only thing with this show is there is a traitor, and you don't know who it is. So that's the twist. It's an exciting plot twist because you're wondering the entire time.
I love shows like that because the only thing I keep doing in my head is just guessing over and over again.
Yeah, and it's an edge of your seat type drama.
Yeah.
With, I want to make sure I say this right, Priyanka Chopra. I think it's Deepak Chopra's daughter. She is one of the stars. She's beautiful, really smart, great actress. So it's got to be a good show. It's one of the top new shows of the fall. So the series premiere Sunday, September 27th, 9 Central on ABC.
Awesome. And we'll definitely be covering that here at AfterBuzz. And in case you guys are on iTunes and you don't know, we're also over on YouTube. So youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV. And you can find us always on all the social medias at AfterBuzz TV. Wherever you are, give us that 5 stars, that thumbs up, write a comment. We read everything you guys have to say. We love talking to you. Whether you guys are fans at home or even the cast of the show that's been watching the show, we appreciate all the support from you guys, retweeting our video and hopefully coming in to talk to us in the studio. So that's been really, really cool. And that's mostly because you followers at home have been hyping up this show. So that's great. Keep up the good work. We really, really appreciate it. And by the way, if they want to continue talking to you about the show, where can they tweet at you?
You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Tina Cap.
Okay. And you guys can find me at Roxy Striar. And let's move back into Terry stuff because it's date night tonight. So we're on ladies' night, but this is ladies' date night going on. And all right, Christine's pissed. She doesn't want to go. She doesn't like going out with Celeste for X, Y, and Z. This happens. I mean, I'm not in a relationship. I don't have, but I see this kind of thing happen on TV, so I have to assume that it's true in life. Yeah. That's how my life works. I think it happens on TV. It must be true. This happens all the time where one wife couple doesn't want to go out with another wife couple. Like that's pretty normal. But with this, I was wondering, Christine's pretty open. She's pretty awesome. Yeah. Like, I couldn't really picture her not getting along with somebody. What exactly is wrong with Celeste? Now, I still don't think I know the answer because Celeste caused a big deal at dinner. But if she does that every time, then when they say this time's the last time, wouldn't last time have been the last time? Yeah. So do we think this is the first time she's caused a big scene like that, or?
I don't think so, because it almost seemed like, I don't know. maybe this is the first time it's been like a public scene, but maybe at home she, calls him out all the time.
Right.
But
it was really nasty, that fight back and forth between Vince and Celeste. That was really nasty. Not like typical husband-wife stuff.
Well, yeah, she was hitting him way below the belt, basically saying, her mom never wanted her to marry him and said, oh, well, you can throw out your Upper East Side dreams out the window and all that kind of stuff. And that's just, for anyone, that's hurtful. But especially for a man who wants to support their family and support their wife and be the provider, to hear that, like, he's less than and he never lived up to her expectations or her mother's and all that kind of stuff, I would be upset too if I was Vince.
Yeah, I would, but then he responds, he fights fire with fire.
Yeah.
And he comes back at her, hey, no way, you never could have. Yeah, you were hot back in the day, but it would have just been a hookup. Like, who do you think you are? You would have been with a plumber or whatever he says to her.
Yeah.
Did you feel like what they said to each other was an equal below the beltness, or do you feel like one was kind of more in the wrong than the other?
I feel like it was maybe more Celeste in the wrong by a small margin, only because they're out with Vince's friends. Like, Terry is Vince's friend and Christine is just friends, another air quote friends, by, association, basically. It's not like, I'm sure they don't hang out if it's not with the guys.
Right.
So it was kind of, one, it's embarrassing to do in front of one of his coworkers and friends, and two, you're in a public place and she started it.
And the other thing she does is she starts talking about work, and she starts to spill what it is that Vince and Terry are doing.
Yes.
Now, did you think she thought Christine knew all that stuff, or do you feel like she was trying to give Christine new information?
I don't think she thought either of those things.
You don't think she thought about Christine?
I think she was just saying it because she was just having diarrhea of the mouth at that moment in time. And I don't think she thought about Christine knowing or not knowing.
Now, Vince claims that Celeste knows this information because she must have heard him on the phone or whatever. Do you think Vince is actually sitting down, and even though they have this crazy weird relationship, that he uses Celeste as his confidant? Or do you think that Celeste really is overhearing this, reading his mail, whatever it is?
I don't know. I think from the little bit that we've seen of their dynamic, I would assume that she's overhearing his conversations, like
being a little
snooping
nosy
on him. Yeah, because I can't. That seems like a very volatile relationship, and it doesn't seem like there's much like, honey, can I talk to you about work? It's really stressful. This is what's going on.
Right.
So I would say she's probably snooping on him.
Okay.
She seems like the snooper type.
I just think that this is foreshadowing something, because Terry was pissed.
Yeah.
Terry was like, this is inappropriate. I mean, if Vince and Celeste have this bad of a relationship, a divorce isn't out of the question, or at least we know he's stepping out on her. She might be stepping out on him. We don't know who she would be stepping out on. We don't know what she could repeat to somebody. We don't know what she's doing in her free time. I don't think this is the last we've heard. We know we're not going out to dinner with them again. Yeah. That's what they're saying. But I think that this couple is coming back, and something really bad is going to happen because Celeste is going to open her mouth.
Well, already, at least in my opinion, I feel like Vince's, if you remember in the last couple of episodes, it seems like Vince's connections, his, informants, his people that he's supposedly close with that tell him about these secret poker games and illegal things that go on, are kind of not as tight with him. Because remember, when Terry got the list and everything, Vince had no idea about it. And one of his informants was the one, I think, that told, I don't know. So I felt like already Vince's relationships were starting to kind of unravel. And with this new information that we know, with Celeste knowing as much as she does, I think that might cause a really big issue for Vince and the rest of the plainclothes guys. Because if their informants don't trust them and all that kind of stuff, they're not going to be able to do their jobs, basically. I agree, but I think one of two things is happening here. I either think what you're saying, where his relationships are unraveling and Vince really isn't aware of his surroundings, or aware of who these people are, and he's getting played,
or Vince is playing us and he really is spilling this to Celeste and he really does know about all of these games and he has way more information that he's letting on and he's pocketing stuff because we find out tonight that he's able to afford a place that right now Terry can't afford.
That's true. I didn't put two and two together when they said that, but now that makes more sense because I think Anna and Phil and I talked about it last week that we thought and one of the potential scenarios was that Vince was taking more than whatever everyone else's get was on these busts, I guess. So
maybe he is. I'm not sure, but I know that in on any great show like this, somewhere somebody that we're trusting isn't to be trusted. There's a mole, there's a rat, there's probably a few of them.
Yes.
And I got my eye on him. I don't know how much I trust him.
Yeah, I agree with you. And speaking of money and getting a lot of money, Roxy, have you heard of DraftKings?
Yeah, and I'm in. I could use some dough, so tell me how.
Yeah, girl. I mean, they're giving away $10 million in prizes. You could win $1 million, $2 million by just putting your team together. It's so easy. It's so fun. Fantasy football. Who doesn't like fantasy football?
Especially this girl, football girl.
Yes, I won both leagues last week.
Congratulations.
Looking to keep that streak alive. But yeah, what the beauty about DraftKings is that there's no commitment. It's not a season-long thing, so you can go in there and do a week and set up your lineup and win a lot of money.
That's awesome.
But go to DraftKings.com and enter the promo code BUZZ, BUZZ.
Kind of like AFTERBUZZ.
Exactly.
I see what you did there.
Exactly, because we can't put on these wonderful shows without our great sponsors, DraftKings being one of them. So we partner with them. They help you out with our promo code by getting your free login to draft and do your thing. And then we get to give you this great Public Morals after show.
And hey, if you end up winning $1 million, let us know.
Yes.
Then you gotta tweet it.
You have to.
Yeah, we gotta know. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that I wish that these people knew back then that they could just be doing DraftKings and they wouldn't have to be illegally trying to pocket this money.
Yeah. I think a lot of things would be different if this show was in the 21st century.
I definitely agree. So going back to Vince here, I don't trust him, but I'm still not positive. But then again, I'm not even sure if I trust Terry because he's not telling his wife everything. So I have a theory that maybe he could actually afford a bigger place, but he doesn't want his wife to start asking questions because she is the question asking type.
Yes.
And so he's making it seem like he's not making as much money, so she doesn't know he's doing illegal stuff.
I agree with you. I think that also a part of it is, doesn't he live in the neighborhood where he grew up?
Yeah.
So I think part of him doesn't want to leave that neighborhood, even though he is in a tiny apartment.
That's true too, but there's got to be more than a one bedroom. I mean, you can't have two guys, one being 13-year-old, another being a little younger, and a little girl all in one bedroom. I mean, you can. There's worse living situations, but for somebody who's a cop, for somebody who's pocketing money, for somebody whose colleagues are living way more lavishly, I feel like, come on, you can't get a couple bedroom place?
No, I think he can. I think that we will find out what he's kind of hoarding this money for. I think there's something, you know what I mean? Like,
ooh, what could he be paying
or
for?
maybe he is in on the gambling stuff on the side and owes people a lot of money or something.
Oh, and good theories. You know? I'm liking these theories. It was interesting that another theory you had, or not even theory, but observation while we were watching, which I hadn't even really thought about, is that tonight we saw them intimate and we hadn't really seen much of that. We've seen them kind of poke fun at each other. We've seen them with the family dynamic, but we saw them kiss and touch and be naked in bed together. Were you expecting that? Were you surprised by that?
I wasn't surprised because I was waiting for this to happen. I mean, 4 episodes in and we finally get the husband and wife to kiss. We haven't even seen them kiss, let alone like touch each other. He's barely touched her the entire season so far. And I just felt like that husband-wife dynamic was so awkward for the first couple of episodes. So it was nice because, you know, that I think it was last episode where he leans on the bed and he's like, said something blah 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 gorgeous, like that was about the most interaction romantically that we got between them.
What do you think they're trying to show us right now?
Well,
What are they trying to tell us?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not 100% certain if maybe it's just because she seems like such a almost laid back type wife in one sense, but then in the other sense, obviously, like you mentioned earlier, she questions a lot of things that he does, but she kind of just goes with the flow as well.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe she's starting to kind of get more suspicious.
They've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's been playing this game for a long time, the pocketing money, the whatever he's doing. And so if her son is 13, you have to figure that they've been together at least 14 years.
Right.
So if that's how long they've been married,